Flip and Stoop, episode 2 of the day. I'm sure everybody's rocking out and getting everything done, right? I'm putting expectations on you guys. I'm not supposed to do that, but I want everybody to win in this group. I want everybody to win on YouTube. It is like my whole formula, right? I share some parts of my story in my life and in my journey to show you guys that, to become successful on a reseller, it doesn't take some type of magical person, right? It literally, we've been going over thought processes. Yesterday we talked about 3 traits that will dominate your ability on the eBay platform. But what I want people to also realize is that this is an opportunity, right? I was just watching a thing on how truckers with AI coming to, or it already is here, right? But it's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And within the next 5 to 10 years, there's probably not going to be semi-truck drivers. Do you know how devastating that is? This is an opportunity. Now, am I saying that eBay isn't going to invest into some of this AI as Amazon is and start eliminating listers? I don't know. But change is inevitable, right? But there will always be a way you can make it happen. But for this moment now, I want you to think about, I went over this past week about your success on eBay is a choice, right? You can be that one, right? I want people to know this very much so, that you can be the one in your family. Like say self-employment's never come from your family. Everybody in your family has worked a 9 to 5. That's the story of my life, right? Everybody in my family worked a 9 to 5. I'm sure there's people out there that can relate. You can be the one that makes a difference. You can be the one that changes that. I know, for an example, I now have my nephew, which we go to the same gym and I give him a ride once in a while. I now have him saying at the age of 15 he's going to be a millionaire. Maybe I don't. He watches other people on YouTube. Right now, I don't want you to put the expectation on yourself that you got to be a millionaire. If you don't want that's your choice. Whatever you want to do, that's your choice. But it inspires me when I'm hearing some people in the younger generation say that. My nephew being one of them. The whole conversation at the gym yesterday when I went with him, that's what he was talking about. And he was talking about getting started with drop shipping. Now, mind you, he's never done any work with me on eBay. So it's not like I'm coaxing him to believe that he can be a millionaire. Maybe he's seen the podcast. Maybe he's seen the YouTube channel. I don't know. But I don't even know if he's on my Facebook. So, we text message. That's about it. Well, you can be, what I want people to realize is that you can be the one. And if you believe you can't, you got to start asking yourself why you believe that you can't make you can't make an impact on eBay. This is an open platform for the world. We sell internationally, right? I sell all over the world, as well as you can. And eBay's made that very simple to do. If you have them doubts or them thoughts about why you can't, ask yourself why. What makes a successful reseller any more unique than you? They don't, because I know the answer to that, right? I know what the answer is. Through their tough times, they didn't quit. They didn't start putting their energy into their limiting beliefs or their doubts. And you're going to hear me say limiting beliefs a lot because I think that's what holds a lot of resellers back. In general, let's face it, the majority of the people in the United States, in a very wealthy country, right, they're capable of making. Now, I'm not saying you got to make money everything, right? But you can do a lot more with it. You can do a lot more. You can do a lot more good with it. You could donate to charities. You can help people out where they need it. You can make your financial situation in your life much more comfortable. So why do you feel like that is, that the majority of the people in the world, or in the United States at least, are living underneath their financial potential? It's their belief system. It boils down to the belief system. Look, the woman or man that's making $1 million a year has nothing more than what in the beginning when they started that journey than you have at this very moment right now. Now, being that person, man or woman, whoever's making that $1 million a year, they might have more resources and stuff now, but when they first started, they were chicken scratch like us. They didn't have anything different than me or you, right? Nothing different. They told themselves, regardless of the storms I'm going to go through, I'm going to make it. That's the attitude you got to have. If you don't have that attitude, if you're like the first, you're probably not going to consciously think the first hiccup that comes my way, I'm just going to throw in the towel. But subconsciously, you're looking It is in our nature to run from danger. Am I right or wrong? Tiger runs up to you, what the fuck are you going to do? Sit there and wait for him to make the first move? No, you're going to get on your freaking tippy toes and you're going to scoot. You're going to run as fast as you can away from that, right? We are bred to run from danger. How did that happen? You know, your parents will tell you, don't do that. You're going to get hurt. Watch out. Don't do this in life. Don't do that in life. Make sure you go get a career and play it safe, right? You'll hear all these things, and that gets embedded into your internal system. And that's the way you look. And the first time something gets difficult where you don't have the solution right offhand, we quit. If you want to be a quitter, my opinion is don't even get started. If you're expecting to have a smooth road, don't even get started. Your perspective's got to be shifted first. You have to know when you go into this, there's going to be some difficult, challenging times. And I'm not saying listing items and fucking taking photos is difficult, okay? Maybe to the person that's never started, yeah, it is difficult in the beginning because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. That's just truthful. But to the person that's been reselling for 6 months, 3 months, a year, whatever, listing really ain't a super big challenge anymore, right? You get it. You understand it. You understand what needs to be done. You know what time to start. You know what time you're probably going to finish. If you have a niche, if you don't have a niche, you'll still be able to estimate when you can start and finish. You'll have it all. You'll have them things together. But regardless how good you get it together, something else is going to come your way. I'm telling you, it's just the way it works. But why not when you sign up for this, right? Because the truth is when you become a reseller, eBay is not reaching out to you saying, hey, resell on the platform. They're not doing that. They don't have to. They got other people like me, and they do advertise, but they're not advertising for you to come and work for their company or work on their platform. They're advertising the products that are on there and how many automotive products are on there amongst everything else, right? So they're not promoting, they're not looking for us, right? But we are them. You are a part of eBay. If you're listing items, you are generating that. You're making that business bigger. So my thing is, when you get into this, you are signing up. So it's literally your decision to make it or not make it. If you sign up, this is why gyms work like Planet Fitness. I'm going to tell you exactly why Planet Fitness makes it and is growing so fast. Because they know within 90 days, 99% of the people that get started are going to quit, and they're still going to get paid for the next freaking year off your membership. They know that, and that's how they work. If everybody that went to Planet Fitness went every day consistently and never missed a day, it would be overly too small. It would be too small of a gym. They would have to make a 50 times bigger gym in order to have all the people. They know that. They prey on people's weaknesses, right? That's why they do the gym membership. That's why they say only $11 a month, right? Sign up, only $11 a month, because they know most people are only going to go for 2 or 3 days and quit, right? But this is your choice to sign on to eBay. This is your choice to take it upon yourself. I put it this way: if you got onto eBay and you've had the thought of being a reseller and you listed your first item, you have something in the back of your mind telling you that you can do this, or let's give it a shot, right? What tends to happen the most is we don't see the results we want to see fast enough, so we say, yeah, I knew this wasn't going to work out. That way, your false accusation that is you knew it wasn't going to work out. You don't even know that. We didn't give it enough time yet, right? We didn't even fathom the fact that I've only actually been doing this for 60 days, and I'm expecting results that somebody's doing it for 6 years. Yeah. That old saying I always say, we overestimate what we can do in a year and underestimate what we can do in 5 to 10 years. It's just truthful. If you list 10 items every single day for the next 5 years, man, you're going to have a shit ton of items in your inventory, and you're probably going to have 10 sales every single day, almost guaranteed. As long as you're listing items that people are wanting and not your dirty socks, right? So my whole thing is, if you're going to get it, this is my opinion on everything in life. If you're going to do it, why do it half-ass? And then when you get in, sign yourself a promise. You're not going to give up regardless. You guys, I've been doing it for 4 years now. There's been so many times it's been an up and down and all around process, throwing me around, the doubt coming in the back of my head. Yeah, this probably ain't going to work for me. Oh, here I go. I missed 2 days in a row. You know, all this little shit that comes up in life and has set me back, but it doesn't matter. Those setbacks only matter if you allow them to eliminate you. Every business that is out there today has setbacks. There ain't one just gradually. Companies as big as Facebook have setbacks. have shit they're facing on a daily basis. As big as Apple have things they're dealing with on a daily basis. Sometimes I believe, like, my perspective in the beginning was, I'm just going to do this. This is just going to flow easily. No, it's not going to flow easily. It's not. You shouldn't want it to flow easily. If it flows too easily, you're not even going to feel good when you accomplish something. For example, if everybody just became millionaires at the age of 18, it wouldn't even be a big thing. Like, being a millionaire won't be shit. And I'm not saying being a millionaire today is like being a millionaire 30 years ago is, because it isn't. The dollar's not even close to the value it was 30 to 50 years ago, right? I'm just saying, it wouldn't even be a thing. People wouldn't even be working towards it because they just know what's going to happen at the age of 18, right? So you actually have to work towards this. And your difficulty is going to be different than my difficulty. My difficulty is going to be different than your difficulty. You're going to be better at organization than I am, right? I might be more efficient when it comes to listing than you are. It doesn't matter. Your method, write down a method. We talked about the 90-day plan. How many of you guys stuck with the 90-day plan or actually wrote down something and have stuck with it since the beginning of this year to this far, right? I can raise my hand on that. I did that. I'm sticking to my number. Oh, nope. One day I missed. That was, remember, we didn't have the internet. But I did get other things down, and I can't account myself for not being able to get items up that day because I can't do shit without my internet, right? Other than that, I've been solid. I've been getting my items up. Why am I playing this too? Because I'm not perfect neither. Even if some people would look at my eBay store and say, okay, that's a good setup. That's what I'd want to have. I still have a lot of different things that I want in there. Somebody might look at your eBay store and be like, man, that's the perfect store. But in the back of your head, you know it can be better. We always know what we're doing can be better. Why do we feel that way? Because 99.9% of the time, we're not throwing 100% of ourselves. You notice I said we. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about us as a community and the resellers. 99.9% of the time, we are not throwing our all at it, and we know that. So our intuition inside tells us, yeah, we could be doing better. Why? Because we know we're not giving it our all. I would be up here lying to you if I told you I'm giving it 120. Do I feel like I'm giving it 85, 90? Yes, I really do, right? Especially with the consistency and the discipline part. Is there things I could be better on? Should I be up in my listings? Probably. I should probably be starting a couple hours earlier than I have for the past 365 days, and I haven't adjusted that yet, so that's my fault, right? I haven't adjusted that yet. I easily could be doing 50 items a day, right? I could be doing that. I'm not doing it, right? So I'm not giving 100%, right? I'm not doing that. And most of us resellers aren't, but we're expecting results as if we are somebody giving it 100%. How can you expect what a person giving it 100%? I'll tell you a person I believe 1,000% is giving eBay 100%, and that would be Tech and Sports. And there's plenty more out there, guys. This is just someone I admire and I look up to. I like his whole attitude. I like his humbleness. And I really like the way he breaks things down. This is why I've been looking up to him forever, right? I believe he's given it 100%. But if you asked him, he might say somewhere in his massive store to me, he might not be giving it 100% in a certain category. I don't know. But when I look at it, I can, he ain't missed a day in how many years. I mean, that's giving it a lot, man. That's giving it a lot. I can't say that yet. And maybe you can't neither, and that's okay. But that's what you do. You learn as you go. Just like your inventory system, you learned as you go. You're going to learn your consistency and how much your consistency and discipline really matters throughout years of doing this. Here's my biggest thing about this video. If you're going to fucking do it, do it. Bottom line, look, if you don't half-step the shit, man. Don't half-step. I half-stepped an entire year, maybe a year and a half of this, and it did not get me even close to there. I'm not saying from day one, go balls to the wall and list 50 items a day from day one. Don't do that, man. You'd list some 50 items, and 5 days later, you wouldn't be able to list anymore for eBay, and it's going to fuck your whole, it's going to fuck everything up. Don't do that. Be sensible about it, right? But eventually get to a point where you're going all in. That should be your mindset, right? Now, I can't tell you what your mindset, because there's part-timer. Now, for you guys that just want to do it part-time, seriously, I'm not putting you any lower. You do your thing. I know a lot of people that love their 9 to 5, and they do a side hustle on the side to take care of certain odds and ends, and they're wonderful with that, and they're great, and I'm happy for them as well. But if you ever want this to become your full-time gig, sign up for it then. When you decide, I'm going to be a reseller, make the decision that you're going to be a reseller with everything that comes along with it. Because there's going to be a bunch of shit in the beginning you're not going to realize it's coming along with this journey. I'm telling you that now. You know, I'm definitely not trying to fear anybody out of doing it. In reality, if you start a closed business in a brick and mortar and you're renting and you figured this out in your head that you can cover the bills to rent it and you got enough inventory to get it started, right? But yet you might not have a really efficient inventory system coming to you yet, but you still get started, right? And you'll learn that as you go. You'll pick up more resources. You'll pick up more customers. You start with no customers when you open a brick and mortar. Not a one. Nobody. Right? And places like Walmart have millions of people going through their doors a day. Right? No, Walmart didn't have any customers in the beginning. Now, they might have grew a lot more because they had a lot more capital and they had a lot more stuff to get started with, right, than what most of us resellers are either starting with nothing or very little bit of capital. And if you have a lot of capital to get started with, that's great too, man. I think, I listen, when you're hearing Gary Vee on YouTube talking about how you could go to these 4 top places in like thrift stores, AJ Wright, the Value City and things like, you could be taking this and buying an item for $15 and flipping it for the actual price tag value of that and making 6 figures a year. The man isn't lying. He's set. He's all right. He ain't hurting at all. He's got no reason to be making these YouTube videos just like me. I have no motive behind these the YouTube channel or the Facebook group trying to get people to just follow me. I got no motive for that. I just want to see something I say impact somebody to make a good decision in their life and make them more financially, give them a little more financial freedom. Look, dude, if you just want to make an extra $10,000 a fucking year, so what? That's great. You can do a lot with 10 grand. Okay? You'll buy a car. You'll buy a bike. You can take your kids to a freaking island, whatever you wanted to do. You can do a lot on a weekend with 10 grand. But if that's your motive, come home and work for an extra hour a day, and you can make that easily. In an hour a day, 2 hours a day. I find that to be crazy. And you'll see people complain so much on Facebook about how tough times are. But they have all the same opportunities everybody else does, but they would rather just bitch about it. And then they find their little group of people to bitch about it with that chime in that is actually making their bitch valid. And it's not valid. There's too many opportunities out there anymore. Yes, times are tough, but there's ways around it. It's inevitable. The economy's fucked up right now. Prices on everything are up. So don't you think maybe if prices are going up, maybe your 9 to 5 ain't cutting it no more. Maybe you should start a side hustle. Right? Think about that. Back in the day, $40,000 a year, you could live pretty comfortably on. You ain't doing that so much today with 2 kids and a wife. Or 2 kids and a husband. Or 2 kids and a wife and a wife. Whatever way you go, right? That's your opinion. Or that's your choice and your decision, right? So, I mean, do the math, right? Getting on Facebook, bitching about the financial situations you're in. What justice does that do you? You're just looking for somebody else to reach back to you and make the same complaint so you don't feel alone. Or so we don't feel alone, I should say. That's all you're looking for. Is that rant going to get you any closer to your financial goal? Absolutely not. It's never. When you think somebody's going to reach out and be like, "Oh, you're having a hard time. Here's $100 grand. Just here you go. Here's $100 grand. That'll make your next year a little bit easier." Ain't nobody fucking doing that, man. Like, very few. You might once in a while have somebody at the gas station pay for your fucking pop in Cheetos, right? And paying it forward. But ain't nobody just going to reach out and be like, okay, you're bitching on Facebook and Twitter about how tough it is for you right now. So here, let me just send you $100,000. It ain't happening, man. So what are you looking for out of that? Instead of doing the bitch rant, right? Like, I felt victim to that many a times, right? About the gas. I'm a victim of it too. Look, I'm not pointing fingers again. I fall in this category too. Instead of doing that though, okay, I don't like the way my financial situation's going in my life today. I don't like waking up and only being able to live off $3. Whatever your case scenario is, right? Just throwing a number out there. So, when I get home or before I go to work, maybe I'll take what this idiot's saying on this YouTube channel and try to do it a little bit with the stuff I got laying around my house and see where it goes, right? You'd be amazed. That's exactly how I got started. Just a couple things laying around the house. And now we have 5,500, almost 6,000. It won't be long before we have 6,000 items in our inventory in daily sales every single day, 365 days a year. Okay? So, and that is just showing what is possible. So if you find yourself doing this, don't beat the shit out of yourself, right? I'm not calling anybody an idiot that is bitching about their income. Look, that's the 9-to-5 lifestyle. That's literally it. You go to work, on lunch break, you bitch to all your friends about your shitty fucking pay and the piece of shit fucking boss you got to work with, right? That's just what people do, right? At a 9-to-5. So instead of doing that, maybe sit at lunch by yourself and start planning something on a pad of paper of how you can gradually change your income, right? An extra $10 a week in 15 years makes a big fucking difference. Big fucking difference, right? Your $10 a week, if you're on eBay, eventually ain't going to be just on $10 a week. It could be $10,000 a fucking month. It could be $15,000. It could be 20. There's people doing $100,000 a month on eBay. And after taxes, you figure that out, that's about 60 grand, depending on what state you lived in. That's not too shabby, if you ask me. Actually, there's people doing more than that. Look at the people that are doing millions and millions of dollars in sales in a year. That's way more. That's more than the 100 grand marker, right? 100 grand a month would give you what? 1.2, 1.2, right? So if they're making hundreds of millions of dollars, or if they're making $50 million, they're going to be doing a lot more than 100 grand in a month. And there's people out here who did this that's no different than us. Get your boy Flip and Stoop. If this video helped you out, Amy, just a little bit, maybe if you got anything out of it, right? You don't have to like everything I say, right? That's fine and dandy. But the whole purpose of me making this is to maybe inspire you somewhere where you doubt it, right? Because you all can do it. It's your boy Flip and Stoop.